Hello, and welcome to the Piano Lessons for Parents podcast. My name is Dr. N. Mason Conklin, and I'm here to help you help your child succeed in piano lessons. In just a few minutes a week, you'll learn the basic musical concepts that will help you supervise and evaluate your child's practice time at home, and learn some tricks and tips to help your child make the most of their at-home practice time. Today's musical concepts are quarter and half notes and the layout of the musical keyboard. Last time we went over beat together, and beat is the underlying pulse of music. Today we'll talk about how rhythm is represented in music. Now rhythm is a little bit different than beat. Rhythm is the pattern of note links that make up a melody. For example, this song that I'm about to play uses a mix of short notes and long notes. Short, 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 long. 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 That piece is climbing up and climbing down from Hal Leonard level 1. Hal Leonard is what we use with our beginning piano students. The short note in this example is called a quarter note. Now, a quarter note has a filled-in note head and a stem, and it looks like this. A quarter note is worth one beat. The long note in this example is called a half note. A half note is a note head that is not filled in and has a stem. It looks like this. A half note gets 2 beats. You can count a rhythm by counting the number of beats that it is worth, and each number happens on the beat. So let me do this example again, and I'll show you how to count by what each note is worth. Gives us the beat. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. And that's basically how rhythm works. You look at the notes and they tell you how long they're supposed to be, and then you superimpose the beat on them and you make them last a certain number of beats that they last. Now for our very, very beginners, sometimes we just simply use the words short and long like I did at the beginning of this. And that can work for the first few weeks. Now what can you do with your kid to emphasize the difference in short and long notes? Well again, I think just walking with them is a good thing to do. So come into step with them, and as you're finding the beat with your feet, you can start making up a little pattern like short, short, long, short, short, long, and make sure the longs last 2 steps. So it might look something like this. Short, short, long, short, short, long. Or you can make up something like long, long, short, 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 short. It's probably a good idea to pick patterns that last about 4 steps long or maybe 8 steps long. More than that and it gets a little bit harder to remember. Next up is the piano keyboard. And let me bring up my program here. The piano keyboard is made up of white and black keys. And if you look at the keyboard, you can see that the black keys come in patterns. Starting at the top, we have a group of 3 here on the right. Next down is a group of 2, a group of 3, 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 a group of 2, 2, and the last note, of course, is by itself, but if it stayed in part of the pattern, it would be in a group of 3. Now, you may have heard me say, up here. Well, that's because the keyboard also has high notes, and the high notes are on the right side. The low notes are on the left side of the keyboard. So down here is low, up here is high. And somewhere in here, you might call notes in the middle. Now, it's a little bit easier to understand if I tilt the keyboard there, and then you can see that the high notes are up here on the high end, and then the low notes are here on the low end. Now, what you can do with your kid to reinforce the musical keyboard is simply ask them to play at the keyboard a group of 3 notes. Can you play a group of 3 notes? Good, and they can play all of them at the same time. Can you find a group of 2 notes? Good. You might want to reinforce the concept of left and right hands too, especially for beginners. Play a group of 3 notes with your left hand. Play a group of 2 black notes with your right hand. And then you can combine concepts. Play a high group of 3 notes with your right hand. Play a low group of 2 notes with your left hand. You could even use all the concepts we've talked about here together. Can you play a group of 3 notes low on the keyboard with your left hand in the pattern short, short, long? Short, 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 long. Similarly, you could say, can you play high on the keyboard a group of 2 black keys in the pattern short, 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 long, long. Short, 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 long, long. That was kind of more in the middle than high, but you get the idea. Well, that's it. Make sure you stay tuned Wednesday when I will give you the most important thing you will ever know about practicing the piano. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.